And welcome to the Business of Being a Virtual Assistant. I'm your host, Tiffany Parson, and you're listening and watching episode number 140. So I was sitting here checking emails this morning and realized, wait a minute, I have time to go ahead and record the podcast this morning. So I am in my workout clothes. That's where I'll be headed to shortly after. I will be headed to the gym. You know, it's crazy. I have heard people say they don't like to move. I've heard people say that at the gym, saying they don't like to move. And it's like, if you don't like to move your body, if you're not moving, then you're dead. All right. So I encourage you to get some activity in this morning. All right. So that's not what this podcast is about. This is about the business of being a virtual assistant. And so I got a really good question in my inbox, and I wanted to share my answer with you all and tell you my thoughts on it. And the question was about getting started, but first deciding what entity for their business they needed to use, whether they should you be LLC, incorporated, sole proprietor, S corp, so on. And who do you contact to get that information? What should you do, especially if you're moving to another state, but right now you're in your current state? So here's what I share with her. I got that advice from my accountant. And what she looks at is how much your business is making to decide whether you should be LLC, incorporated, so on and so forth. So I am not an accountant. I can't give advice on that or tax advice. In most cases, most of us have started out as sole proprietors. When you first start, you don't even have a client yet. So to get involved in all the incorporation and things like that, it's an expense up front. I will share this. This is something I didn't say to her in the email, but I wanted to make sure it came off right. So I wanted her to hear me saying it. So Mariah, this is me saying it, the other part of the email. In the past, I incorporated 2 different businesses. And for those that are listening, I'm doing air quotes. 2 different businesses way back in the day, both with partners. And as far as we got was creating a name and filling out the incorporation papers and sending, I think it was $250, if I'm not mistaken. So we did like $125 each. I think that has been eons ago, but I did it 2 different occasions, both times with coworkers, really trying to get things started. But the thing was, we did not have, we had a plan in regards to what our idea was going to be, but we didn't have a plan as far as getting people. What were we going to do? And so we had no business coming up with articles of incorporation when really things were not strong enough to get to that point. So it's always best, talk to an accountant. Talk to an accountant in your area right now. Even if you know you're going to move in a month or 2, talk to somebody to find out what you should do. But most freelancers start out as sole proprietors and then go from there, especially if you have no clients. You're just you. It's okay. You can get an EIN, which is an employer identification number, as just you. You can get a business registration in your area as just you. That's the most important thing, is the business registration, which means you have a license to do business in your area, as opposed to deciding on the incorporation. Now, those are my 2 experiences with the incorporation. I've also had an S corp, and I did that when I was a contractor. This was years ago. I was working through a contracting company, but I was advised to also set up my own corporation so that they could do the contract and all that stuff with the company. So anyway, did it that way. But virtual hire hand started out as a sole proprietor. We're still a sole proprietor. So there you have it. But talk to a professional. All right. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is something that I listened to, well, heard, and it really made me say, wow, like really think about this. It was a money mindset bonus training that I got. And it was from a guy by the name of Mike Shreve, and he's big on helping freelancers. And what he shared was that money is not attracted to need, money is attracted to purpose. And so you think about that, okay, money is not attracted to need, money is attracted to purpose. Then he pointed out this. He says, because there are a lot of people in the world in need. So I thought about that. There are a lot of people all over the world in need. Money is not attracted to a need, it's attracted to a purpose. If money was attracted to a need, there wouldn't be people all over the world with a need. Wow, right? So instead, we got to focus on our purpose. This is why, I know for direct sales, why is stress. What's your why? And I used to hate that. What's your why? What's your why? But I like purpose because it helps, I think, you get clear on your reason for doing it. What is the purpose? So I ask you, what is the purpose of starting a virtual assistant business? What is the purpose of having a virtual assistant business? What is the purpose of wanting a business for yourself? What is the purpose of having a business for yourself? What is the purpose for continuing to have your own business? Purpose. Think about that. Write it down. Look at it every day. Purpose. It was a great recording. Mike Shreve, he is the guy. He's not really big on social media. I wish he was. I wish he was more active on social because he gives out such great information. Then there's another guy, Dr. Lok Tikvardi. Oh, I know I'm jacking up his name. It's Dr. Lok Viktardi. I'll have the doctor's link in the show notes. There's no link for Mike. That was a bonus training. I don't even know if I was supposed to share that little tip with you, but I did. So if you're listening, you got it if you're still listening. But let me tell you about Dr. Aloki Tikvardi. I'm going to have it, the spelling and the link. Now, he was training a group from Primerica. I'm not affiliated with Primerica. It's just happened to be a video that I came across on YouTube. But he teaches about overcoming fears from a neurological, scientific standpoint. And the concept is that, well, let me say this. A couple of episodes back, I talked about fears. And what's our fears about getting started and different things like that. So his whole thing is about helping people get over the hump of fear, get over that fear. And the concept, one of the things was about fear of rejection. That's huge, fear of rejection. And so one of the things that he shared was that once we have experienced the aftermath of a fear, we can't experience it again. It won't be as great. You get what I'm saying? Like you'll be afraid, but it's not as great because you've done it before. For example, if you are afraid to speak publicly, to do any type of public speaking, and you happen to get on stage and you do a public speech, think about if you ever had to do an Easter speech at church, or maybe you're in chorus in school, or anything before a crowd, or here with your business, if you've ever done a Facebook Live or a YouTube video, something where you're putting yourself out there in front of people. Scary, right? But once you've done it one time, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, it's like your fear diminishes. So his concept is to experience it, well, not experience it ahead of time, but to identify what the benefits are of having the fear. So his exercise to help get over the fear of rejection is to write down 100 benefits of the fear of rejection. And the thought is that by the time you write down all 100, you'll be over your fear. And it sounds so simple. It sounds very simple. So I haven't gotten to 100. I think I'm at 13. Because I'm like, fear of rejection, the benefits of fear of rejection. I'm trying to think about, what are they? And just with the 13 has helped see things in a different way, approach things in a different way. Because, hey, fear of rejection is a huge deal. Like if we were sitting beside each other, didn't know each other from nowhere, no podcast, nothing. And, I've got this pen and I know it will help you. I'm going to be nervous to share it with you about this pen. I'm going to go over our conversation in my head and hear what you say and then what I say. And it's just all made up, all imagination, right? But when you think about what are the benefits of being rejected, what are the benefits if you say no to my pen? Well, one thing I wrote down is the fact that it gets me closer to the people that really need what I have to offer. Right? I know where you stand in regards to what I have to offer. There's some other ones I wrote down. But I want you to try the exercise if that's one of your fears, fear of rejection. And then the other thing is focusing more on the value that you bring. If we focus on our value, you won't even have time to wonder if someone's going to be receptive to you or not. This was not a part of either one of those things that I listened to. This is like a result of it. I had a call this week with a potential client that I met through Upwork. And we talked on the phone to learn more about each other, her project, and so she can learn about me. But I wasn't focused on whether she would be awarded me the project. I didn't focus on any of that after even submitting my proposal. And if you got my 21-day Upwork challenge guide, then you know what the process is for submitting the proposal. And the thing is, it's about the action. We have to detach ourselves from the yes or no of the award, but be glad that we pursued the action. Because if we don't put ourselves out there, nobody can respond. They don't know we exist. If I never came onto a podcast, if you never heard me on iTunes or YouTube or my website or wherever you found me, you wouldn't know I existed. And it would be on me. It'd be like my fault because I knew I had a value to offer and I didn't put it out there. I didn't tell you about it. Imagine, and this might be happening right now. We don't know. They have a cure for cancer. Cancer patient comes in, but they don't give the cancer patients the cure. There's a cure for kids having ADHD. Go to the doctor or wherever you go. I don't have children or I don't know how it works, but wherever you go to find out, to get help, they have the cure, but they don't give it to you. Think about your services. You have the cure for your clients, but you don't tell them about it. You're like, you don't tell them about it. You keep it a secret. If we think about it from that perspective, like I have the cure for somebody, but by you not putting it out there, you can't help anybody. When you put it like that, it's like, oh, wow, I got to get over myself. If somebody's bleeding and I have a first aid kit, but I don't tell anybody I have the first aid kit, there's no way you would do that. You'd be like, hey, I got something. I can help. I got it. I can help. You would automatically. Oh, what if we got to that point about our businesses? What if we got to that point about our businesses, not be concerned about whether they're going to say yes or no, but say, hey, here, I got it. I got the first aid kit. If they turn the first aid kit down, they're not saying no to you. They're saying, oh, I don't want that. I don't want any help. Oh, we can't help anybody that doesn't want any help. Whole different spin on it, right? whole different spin. So I'm talking to this lady and I'm totally focused on what she's telling me about her business and how I know I can help her and how what I offer fits perfectly with what she has. Not even thinking about whether she's going to say yes or no, but just offering the first aid kit. Think about that. Think about that. You have it. Are you sharing it? Are you holding on to it? Are you afraid they're going to reject you? Make your list of your benefits of rejections. I'm going to post the link in the show notes. If you're watching on YouTube, just look below. If you're listening, you just head to my website, tiffanyparson.com. The link will be there for you to listen to that whole thing. And I think it's like 20 minutes. So anyway, the biggest takeaway from me to you is you're valuable. You have the cure for somebody. You have the help for somebody. Go tell them. And I'm just going to slide this in there because I have the cure for you. If you have not started your virtual assistant business yet, or you're in your virtual assistant business, you really need to be in the virtual assistant business owner circle. Why? Because I'm giving you skills training, business training. It's the place where you can ask me questions, where we can have dialogue back and forth about your business. I also show you how to get clients based on what we're teaching for the month. So it's a month-to-month coaching. You can jump in, jump out, jump back in, however you want to do it. But how do you find out about it? Go to my website, tiffanyparson.com. Click on membership and you'll get all the details about the program. So anyway, I hope you're not holding on to your cure. Hope you're not holding on to your secret. I will see you in the next episode.